Alright guys, welcome to part 3. And we'll start with a battle here. Just be careful of these guys right here, the guys in green. As you just saw, they poison you. So just try to get some antidotes, or have some on hand. But it shouldn't be too hard to get rid of them all, as you can see. So in the last part, we infiltrated Sector 5. And we're still doing that in this part here. We're going to plant the bomb here. And we'll get a little scene right here where we'll get a little flashback from 5 years ago. And as you can see, that's Tifa right there. And that body in front of her is her father. And I guess her father tried to stop Sephiroth there and got killed. Cloud's kind of having a little episode here. So, as you can see here, this looks familiar from in the first part here. We're actually playing the bomb, but we don't have a timer this time, and we didn't find anybody. So, you'll actually be able to take your time getting out of here. So so we're actually going to be getting out of this place in a similar fashion. We actually came in differently, but we're actually going to exit the same way. But it's going to go a little bit differently this time as well. So, expect that. Well, you'll be seeing me cut out quite a bit about us here. Just some enemies you've already seen already, so there's no need for you to watch the battles again. So this screen here is it's very similar to the in the past there, but it's just at a different angle here. And just as you saw right there, you actually hit the press at the same time as the people there. So as you saw, I timed it just well on the first try. So I'm just healing up and saving.
12 seconds later.
So I believe the timing on the thing there, if I remember right, I think it was like 1.3 seconds after the text box is done. You'll be able to retry like a lot of times. It's just you know, you'll be able to get the timing right, I guess. Like I said, you'll be able to try as many times as you want. But anyways, as you can see, that's the president in the red. The president of Shinra. And actually, a fun fact, he doesn't get a lot of screen time. We'll actually see him like 3 to 5 times, and after that, you won't see him again for obvious reasons. But we'll actually be coming up to a boss battle here. we will be coming up to getting another character for our party, but we'll be doing that after the battle here. So as you saw when we got to this point right here, we actually got ambushed, and I think that was either due to them knowing which one we were gonna attack, or they just beefed up the security, which I think they knew. I think they actually knew what reactor we were gonna go to. They might have had a spy somewhere or whatever. But like I said, we're actually going to be coming up to a boss battle here, and this thing that will be coming from the left here. This machine, which is called Airbuster, will be fighting him as the boss. And is that a lawnmower? Gotta love the 90s and how they like try to use other objects as sounds for other things. But anyways, so we'll be starting this battle on a side-by-side battle with the boss in the center there, like so. And Airbuster here is weak against lightning because he's a machine here. But another thing is that he's weak from behind. He actually takes a little bit more damage than usual from behind, which I guess it's obvious when you attack somebody from behind, it takes more. But you'll see here that I'll be taking down. I'll be defeating Airbuster here within 2 limit breaks here. And as you can see, that was from behind, so that took quite a bit. And this is actually me trying to see if I can get Airbuster to turn around, but I just decided to just do it from the front anyways. Which it actually did enough damage to defeat him, and you'll see here it will take up quite a bit of damage. You know, like right there, you see it took a lot of damage. So that's it. When you see him do this, that means it's the end of the battle, and that's actually his self-destruct sequence there, and you'll see what happens. And you get a lot of experience there. And we'll be getting a Titan Mangle, as you can see right there. We'll be putting that on Cloud in just a few minutes. And as you can see here, Cloud is actually in a pickle now. And he will actually fall, but he will actually survive. For very weird reasons. And those choices there, it doesn't matter which one you pick, will kind of, it won't affect how Cloud falls or try to save him. He will fall regardless, like so. So, this scene here, some theorize that, it's actually pretty much the only theory that can get concluded, because another theory actually, like, doesn't make sense. The one that makes sense is that he's actually talking to Zach, his old-time friend. And the other theory could be that he's talking to, he has Genova cells in his body, so he could be talking to Genoa trying to mess with his mind, trying to make him weak, but I don't think that theory works too well. So I think the theory on Zack talking to him is actually more plausible. So you'll see right here that this is a familiar person. This is actually the flower lady that we met after we did the reactor number 1 job. And apparently this is where she hangs out in this abandoned church here. And she kind of she actually does take care of the flowers that Cloud landed on, which I guess apparently broke his fall, which doesn't make any sense, but whatever. So, like I said, this familiar person here. The name that she's supposed to have, which is Aerith. In the when this game came out, there was actually a bad translation thing going on, and this is just me equipping Cloud with the Titan Bangle and stuff there. So yeah, there was a bad translation thing here, and they actually mistaken how Aerith's name was supposed to be spelled, and they actually they dropped the TH and just added an S. So in the English, her name is Aerith, but her Japanese name is actually Aerith with a TH at the end. And I'm actually going to be renaming her the proper name. And we actually see here that Aerith here actually has a special kind of materia. I should have said right there. And that materia that she's talking about will actually come into play like halfway in the game. And I'll be explaining on what she had. So, Aerith here and Cloud will actually be bonding relatively quickly. And you'll see that a few times later on, to where they actually bond a few moments, and you'll see that they kind of, you would think that they would actually get together later on, but it actually gets cut short for obvious reasons. So this is where I was talking about where I'm going to be renaming her as the proper name. So like I said, she was the person that we bought the flower from. And then we gave that to Tifa, which is kind of ironic here, because they kind of have a thing while she's in our party here. So that guy that just walked in there, he's actually someone important, or I should say part of a group. And actually, I guess I suppose I can spoil it. I mean, you'll see what his name is later. His name is Reno. And he's actually part of a group called the Turks. And basically the Turks are part of the Shinra company. And they're kind of like, I guess you can say they're just a special group that goes to do special jobs. And they handle a lot of the dirty work. And on par with them is the soldier people group there. I think it's any soldier member that is below the first class actually takes orders from the Turks here, because if you have played Crisis Core, you'll see that as how it goes. And once you get to first class, you actually become equals. And you know, they basically just kind of help each other out. And basically, the Turks in the soldier group there, they handle, like I said, you know, special hard to do missions that the normal soldiers there can't really do. We're going through this back way here, and right now I'm actually equipping Aerith here with some old equipment. But apparently she doesn't have quite a lot of materia slots as Cloud does, so I can't equip her with too much. Also, the materia that was on Bear and Tifa, they actually got unequipped and pretty much we're over to the Cloud there, so he has control of the materia there. So Aerith here you'll see in just a minute here, she'll get in trouble and we'll have to do a special way of saving her. Like so. So you can have Aerith here actually fight the troops there if you really wanted to get her some battle experience, but I'm actually, in this one here, I'm actually going to do where she doesn't fight at all. And if you do the order that I do it, then you won't have any trouble. And Cloud can actually fight when he's moving around. So these guys are weak against ice. They're fire type there, so don't cast like fire on them, because it will heal them, or just won't take as much damage. So the next barrel is this one, and you just gotta wait for Aerith to say something. And you just always say, hold on a minute, and just push the barrel there. So the next one will be over here. And that's the last barrel that you'll have to push. After this one, you'll actually escape through the roof. And we will actually escape from everybody here. And I guess Reno might be actually just be waiting below where they are right now, where the flowers there. I don't think he might have actually just went off and left and let the troops handle things. And Aerith is actually going off on her own. Kind of weird. So we see here that this is actually not the first time that Aerith had to avoid the group there. Although from the past ones there wasn't as major as this one. And they wanted Aerith here for special reasons. And that will be explained not exactly way later, but it will be, I guess, within the next hour or two of the playing the game here. So we'll be ending the part here when I get to the save point. There will be a few things that we'll be doing here, and then we'll be getting to the save point. So this screen here, you actually are able to somewhat move around, but you'll get to this little spot here, and this scene will trigger, and they'll have like a small little bonding moment here. And the screen that we'll be coming up to is actually just to the left of the church screen there that we were just on. So we're just kind of looping it around to the side, I guess, which is kind of weird. But after we get to that one screen there, the save point will be just up the ways there, so we'll be saving and ending the part there. So this is the screen I was talking about, and if you go to the right, it will go to the church screen there. Like I said, we're coming up to the save point here, so I will catch you guys in the next part there. So make sure to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next part. So take care, guys.